Today I'm visiting the HOH Rainforest, that's spelled H-O-H. It's named after a Native American tribe in the Olympic Peninsula. There are several Native tribes in this area, and the rainforests are named after them. I tried to come here last weekend, which was Labor Day weekend, and there were cars lined up for miles outside the gate, and it said there was a 2-hour wait to get in, so I didn't want to do that. I'm just gonna take the Spruce Trail. It's just a short little hike. There's also the HOH River Trail, which is about 15 miles long, goes to Glacier Meadows. Need permits and things like that to go out there. The moss out here is absolutely incredible, but there also are just mondo trees. It's pretty warm out here today. I'm surprised. It's very shady, of course, it's a rainforest. There are some fires, so the air is pretty smoky, so like my eyes are stinging and a little congested this week. So we're not even escaping the fires or the smoke all the way over here. There are just amazing things happening with light in here. Looks like a Thomas Kincaid painting. I've gotten here at evening, so there are definitely people milling around, but the parking lot was being vacated, and I have spaces of time alone out here on this trail, so it's a really nice time to come. It's a massive root wad, and it has all of these trees growing out of it. It's rough. Yeah, those other roots. That's pretty epic.
So it's fell.
It's fell, and those other trees have grown up out of it. Yeah. Quite amazing. Nature. That is awesome. This is interesting. It's hollow under the roots of this tree, so I'm guessing it was growing out of a log and the log decayed. Here's the other side of it. The roots are kind of standing up in the air. I've been very curious. I've seen so many trees growing out of decaying logs. I've been wondering what happens when the log finally decays. Looks like, in this case, the tree did grow down to the ground on one side. There's just such cool light at this time of day out here in the rainforest. Kind of a gap in the canopy from some dead trees. You can see the sky, kind of smoky. When I was finishing my master's in soil science and I was talking to my professor about whether or not I should continue for a PhD, I remember him saying, well, you have your whole relationship with trees that you need to consider. And I've flashed back on that so many times because it's so true. I really always need to consider my relationship with trees. There's just a lot of things going on with this tangled root that's sticking up in the air. It has ferns growing off of it and moss covering it and some berries climbing on it. Some oxalis growing on it, or clover. It's really cool. I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes and I don't like that. There was just a little bunny rabbit right there that went right under there. I know I've been saying this since I moved to the Olympic Peninsula, but rainforests are just awesome. If you can't get to one, like, look one up online, look for some pictures, donate to one. It's really special. A lot of people don't know the difference between a national forest and a national park. And a national forest is actually for natural resource management. And so they actually do harvest and mineral extraction and things like that. They try to do it in a really conservative way for the long term, and also out of respect for other uses and for wildlife habitat and for recreation and that sort of thing. A national park, which is what I'm in right now, is a preserve. So they don't do natural resources extraction, and it's amazing the difference. There's the Olympic National Forest outside of here. It's very heavily managed. There's not very rainforesty or old growth qualities anywhere, and then you come in the national park and you can just see the world of difference. And I highly encourage people to take a look and observe and find out the differences between these things, because it just makes a national park so special, and selling them off or making them smaller is just a very, very sad thing. They're not that big in the first place, and they're so amazing. We finished the Spruce Trail, and now I'm just going to take a little quick peek in the Hall of Mosses, show you anything that's cool in here, and then get back to my car and out to the hostel where I'm staying tonight in the rainforest. That should be fun. So I've lived on the Olympic Peninsula for a couple of months, but why am I suddenly making it out to the Olympic National Park? And that is because a bunch of things came together at once. One is that I got my America the Beautiful All Access Pass. Two is that everybody went back to school, so there are way fewer tourists out here. This is a neat old stump. Very, very weathered. Speaking of weathering storms, look at this root. It's of this tree. It is part dead and part alive. It looks like The skeleton. Such awesome twisty roots in here. Look at these roots on an old stump. It's amazing. Epic roots on a log. It's just the coolest thing out here. I think at this point, I'm getting mosquitoes in my mouth. It's just thick with these mosquitoes. Blah, blah, blah. This branch growing out of this old stem. This is just a tangle of trees and roots that grew up on an old dead log. There's an elk right next to the trail. People are watching. So much of this hike is about the roots. I could actually crawl under there probably. It's like a cave. Here's another one. A series of trees that grew up on an old log, and then this mondo tree is here with great big gaps under the roots. That was a really satisfying outing for the evening. Got some exercise, walked 2 trails, neither of which was very long, saw a lot of really gorgeous, huge trees, and all of those roots that found out finally what happens to those trees that are growing out of the decaying stumps and logs. Once the log or stump totally decays, they turn into huge trees with huge roots with big holes underneath them. That is awesome. I'm also really happy to be going somewhere to rest now because my left hip, it has been hurting lately. I usually don't have any aches or pains, but when I was in Ohio last month, I didn't have any hiking shoes, and all of that hiking that I did, like 5 to 9 miles a day while I was there, I was wearing flip-flops. That's a big no-no. Especially when the trails are really wet and slippery and uneven, so my feet were sliding all over the place. My hip is just not happy with me, so I'm really happy to go and rest it now. And maybe by tomorrow it'll be ready to do a little more walking in the other 2 rainforests.